They call their politicians a bunch of thieves. Civil servants protest almost every day in Madrid against cuts. But with the latest economic figures showing a deepening recession, everyone worries that Spain's government will need a bailout.
I think we have to remember that a year ago, this was not seen as a possibility in any way. And up until 3 or 4 months ago, the government here was saying we will need absolutely no form of external assistance. Now, bureaucrats in Brussels, people in the financial markets now very much consider this a real possibility.
The Prime Minister, Mariano Rajoy, was meeting regional party bosses. This is one of Spain's big problems. Semi-autonomous regions running up debts, dragging the whole country down.
Well, you can see the intense interest around this meeting at the Partido Popular, and it's absolutely crucial for the Spanish Prime Minister because he has to convince the regions to bring their spending under control. Otherwise, no matter what he achieves here in Madrid, he cannot save Spain from bankruptcy if regional deficits continue to grow.
It wasn't all bad news for the Eurozone. Italy's borrowing costs fell because of rising hopes that the European Central Bank will take further measures to save the single currency. But in Greece, bank employees were on strike, protesting against the sale of a struggling government-owned bank and possible job losses. Back in Madrid, bitter anger over new austerity measures, and more signs that Spanish voters are losing faith with politicians of all parties.
Well, we can join Barnaby live in Madrid now. Barnaby, just last week, the president of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, had very reassuring words saying that basically the ECB was going to do whatever it took to keep the euro afloat. I mean, ultimately, how reassured are the Spanish people and the government by those sorts of comments?
I think there is some reassurance here, Barbara, by those comments, but in a sense, it is the reassurance that anyone would take if they were in such a desperate situation. I think the problem for the Spanish government is that they worry that they'll be overwhelmed on two fronts, both by the problems in the Spanish banking sector and then, as I was referring to in my report there, the problems in the Spanish regions. And between them, those two could overwhelm the Spanish government. I think the authorities here in Madrid feel that they've done more or less what they can do, and now they are going to rely on outside help. The hope, the expectation, the implication, if you like, of what Mario Draghi was saying last week was that the European Central Bank will return to the bond market and start buying up the debts of troubled countries like Spain and Italy, perhaps in the face of German opposition. That would be a very, very important development. And I think it's interesting if you see today that the American Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner, has flown to Europe to meet Mario Draghi, and Mr. Geithner is going on to meet the German Finance Minister, Wolfgang Schäuble. Of course, he is an absolutely crucial person in this whole drama as it plays out. But that just goes to show that the implications of the decisions reached here in Madrid, in Brussels, in Berlin are very, very important for the whole world. And the Americans, obviously coming up to an election period, will be watching developments over the next few days very closely.
Barnaby Phillips in Madrid for us. Thank you.